It's Friday night. It's we got loads of stuff from like some random fan meeting. So here we go. Just oh, good evening, everyone. You can see that I'm hosting, so I don't know where any of the buttons are, and I can't speak properly. So, how are you doing, Mr. B?
I'm good, Bob. As always, man. I'm good. How are we?
Yeah, I'm all right. We can't be joined by a Monday tonight, I'm afraid, guys, because I don't know. He's just not. He's not around, and he's stressing in the group chat. But we've got a massive show tonight with a huge amount to get through. It's all about the Manchester United fan forum, Mr. B. Do you know what that is?
I do now. I do now. No, I did know there was a time when they do talk to the to Richard Arnold and Murdoch, and they do semi-answer questions. So yeah, it was just interesting to have a more detailed look at things this time. I suppose normally it just goes over my head, but it's good. That's something that we can have a look at.
Yeah, so it was set up after the Super League stuff, and we have representatives who apparently you can contact and get them to ask questions and express your views. Myself and Jeff have tried to get in touch with one of them, and he refuses to speak to us. But anyway, have we got anyone in the house this evening?
Just Zoe at the moment. Zoe, good evening, as always. Oh, DK Williams, DK Wilson is also here. Big up, man.
Yeah. Well, just while we wait for a couple of people to filter in, Monday wants us to plug the show again for next Wednesday, where a semi-professional player and the professional manager will come on. So if you have any questions about what goes on in the running of a football club, what you do if you don't like a player, like all these sort of things, send us your questions on Twitter or message me, Mr. B, or a Monday, and if they're reasonable questions, we'll ask them for you. If it's a load of nonsense, I'm just not going to get involved. And I think, are we going back to watch-alongs next week, Mr. B, for the 8 o'clocker?
Yeah, yeah. For the 8 o'clock game, most definitely, it doesn't coincide with my football, and then obviously we'll have the Champions League during the week. So at the moment, it's just a Saturday mid 3 o'clock kickoff Saturday issue. But I'd rather we were in the Champions League and we weren't doing any watch-alongs than do the watch-along on a Sunday and a Thursday. To be fair.
Yeah. All right. So should we get cracking?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
First things first. There's a question from Zoe Media House before we get going. Is the MU forum the same as Must?
No, it's not. Must is the Manchester United Shareholders Trust, which isn't like officially sanctioned by the football club, to my knowledge. This is the fan forum, where which is an official thing, and it's where people talk to Arnold, Murta, a lady called Colleen, and it is conducted in person. So it's not the same thing, Zoe, but I also agree with you. I'm very sceptical about Must. But these are the things that I have highlighted. There's been some clarification on Antony and Greenwood. Joel Glazer has been called out by the fan forum. There's some really worrying long-term effects of the Galatasaray disaster. Not the result on the pitch, but essentially an invasion into the South Stand. There's talk about stadium repairs, injuries, NFTs, and a new ticketing system. So I suspect that everyone's going to go and watch England versus Australia now instead of listening to this. Is there anything that stands out to you there, Mr. B?
Well, the stadium repairs, I think, is the funny one. I really think. Well, obviously, the time scale will come up NFTs, I don't understand half time, so maybe you can educate me, or someone in the chat could educate me.
Yeah, I'm actually my profile picture is an NFT. I understand what they are, and it's very interesting what United are doing. It's actually a good thing, but unfortunately, this isn't a good thing. The first thing that was brought up was Antony. So this is from I can't remember who this is from. I think that this is from Arnold, who's the CEO. Yes, it is. And he said, regarding Antony, we took a swift decision to grant him a leave of absence to address the allegations against him. He arrived back in Manchester 2 weeks ago to voluntarily meet Greater Manchester Police, just as he had done with the Brazilian police in Sao Paulo. In the absence so far of any charges against him in the UK or Brazil, we decided the right course of action was to allow Antony to resume training and playing while the police investigation proceeds. We will keep this stance under review pending further developments in the case. Does anything jump out at you, Mr. B, from this?
Well, they took swift action, I think, because they had to, obviously, with the Mason Greenwood situation. This is a delicate one, because it's guilty and innocent until proven guilty. But something came out today, bath time, that the lawyer for the Giselle lady is no longer willing to represent her, and she's just said that it was for personal reasons. So the word that they used might not have been personal, but from what I understood, it was a long word, and I don't remember it. But from what I understood, it meant was that they've had personal differences. So I said, look, there's another things, maybe stuff that will come out further down the line that the United hierarchy are privy to. Maybe we'll be privy to at the end of it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that looking at this, what I would say is that I've always had the suspicion that the case is pretty weak against Antony. For one, the woman has spoken on primetime national TV, and I can't see how you can get a jury when someone does that. But the main thing here is that he's still under investigation, and I think that this sets a worrying precedent where typically when a player is being investigated, they're suspended from the football club. But in Antony's case, he isn't. Although one thing that Arnold did mention, which I haven't included in the slides, is that he has spoken to various women's charities to get feedback from them. This is the Antony situation, and we've got the Greenwood one, but it's probably best to do the comments after each slide, I think, tonight.
Yeah. So let's have a look and see if there's anybody directly. Look, we'll go through the comments as they go. It might be easier. So obviously Bart's coming. United need to invest close to 1.5 billion in order to revamp and refurbish both Carrington and Old Trafford. DK Wilson, they need to read the Root M about NFTs. Average. They collectively lost somewhere around 91% of their value. I have absolutely no. You may as well have been speaking in Swahili there. I have no idea what you meant by that. To be fair, DK. Bart and Zoe were just saying that the England game's on, so there's no Man United players in the England team. So I don't think Zoe gives a toss. To be fair, Bart is saying, didn't Charlie say? There we go. Sorry. Didn't Charlie Tavis say Reggie's training ground was on a par with Carrington?
Yeah, but I mean, what do you expect him to say? Do you think at his new club he's going to say it's an absolute shithouse? I was at Manchester United; it was a lot better. This is a non-story. I mean, it's just an excuse to sort of get wound up about serious issues at United. But I wouldn't read too much into reading or reading. And also, hello to Stephanie Griffiths.
Rory C's got one here. I just wish they gave Greenwood the same level of respect, innocent till proven guilty and all of that. and Zoe Media House is coming. As a woman, I'm shocked that certain women in the fan base and within the club, i.e. the staff, have an issue with Greenwood. Knowing the girl is now his wife makes no sense.
Well, that's a very controversial view, Zoe. But anyway, Rory was talking about Greenwood, and this is what they had to say about Greenwood, Rory. So this is Richard Arnold, who's our chief executive officer, like the big boss. He said, we conducted a detailed investigation over several months, considering all the evidence available. The evidence presented to us contained important facts that were not in the public domain. I made the ultimate decision as CEO that Mason's career should continue elsewhere. It's true that my decision evolved over time, but I believe we came to the right conclusion for all parties. However, I can assure you that we've listened to the feedback and criticism, and there are learnings that we can take forwards. What do you think to that, Mr. B?
I'm still not sure what the best way to handle this situation was. We would have been damned if he did and damned if he didn't. So I don't know. Bath time. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say I don't know, because
to be honest, Mr. B, I think that's exactly right. We're a fan channel that likes talking about rest defences and things like that. I absolutely hate this stuff. The only thing that I think is sort of new information here is that he said that Greenwood's career should continue elsewhere, and Greenwood's on a loan. So I don't know if he's just not spoken like with precision there, or if they're looking to offload Greenwood. But I find all this unseemly and horrible, and I'm not a lawyer or a policeman. I don't want to talk about these things, to be honest.
Move on.
Move on. But we have to. It's the news.
Yeah, and so, to be fair, Bath time, if we're going to discuss the whole fan forum, I think it's better that we go through it stage by stage rather than skip bits, because we don't want to talk about it or whatever. So look, we've done it. We've got past it. We'll just move on to the next one. There's one for there's just one here from
Brendan.
From Brendan Chappell. I feel Richard Arnold's career should continue elsewhere. Didn't need several months to figure that one out. Here we go. Well, from Brendan. Sorry, go again. Sorry, Bob.
Yeah, so this is all in order, by the way. These are the minutes of the fan meeting. So I've put them in the order that they were presented, and there is some uncomfortable stuff here, but it's going to get a bit more interesting, I think now. And here, Richard Arnold. This is now Richard Arnold, and not. No, this is now Murtagh, who is Director of Football Operations, and he's talking about the injury crisis. So he said that there are some strong mitigations for the mixed results so far, including 16 first-team players injured or unavailable since the start of the season. That's 2/3 of the squad. That means that Eric has not been able to pick his strongest 11 once this season. I'm just amazed, Mr. B, that we have a strongest 11. I don't get the impression he doesn't know it.
That's good. That would be an interesting one, to be fair. Bath time, the strongest 11. Maybe that'll give us something to do in the next week. I don't understand how a club of Manchester United size, with all of the equipment and all of the computer analysis and data analysis, that 16, I didn't realize it was so much. And then you understand why he's struggling. Would these 16 wouldn't have all have played, but it would have given Ten Hag options to maybe change things in game.
You say that, but Malacia probably would have played. He's been injured for ages. And Kobe Manu, he'd have played.
Injured. I mean, that was a game injury. The fact that he wasn't back was more. I mean, look, the fact that there's the 2 week break, I really hope benefits us in regards to getting players back. But you were talking about it being sorry, you think they're all muscle injuries? Do you think that this is stuff that could have been prevented by half time?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because that's the topic of the next slide, where what they're saying here is we're also looking at why we've had so many injuries, see if there's any patterns to improve prevention in the future. So others have been muscular, and when he talks about others, I've left out a piece of information which was Kobe Mainu, was just an injury that could never be prevented. But others have been muscular and could reflect the sheer volume of games played over the past year, including last year's World Cup. And to put this into context, City and United played the most games last year, and this is reflected in the number of injuries that have been incurred across both teams. United played 41 games between the 21st of December and the end of the season. And that's the equivalent of the entire games that Villa, Brentford and Brighton played for the entire season. So from coming back from the World Cup, we played 41 games of football.
Wow.
So what are the comments saying? So I don't want to run away without people having the right.
So we're gonna go here. Look, we'll have Jay jumped in late, but we'll still give him his he's taken the time out to comment. Greenwood's situation a byproduct of the lack of real leadership and professionalism at our once great club. We've got one from Mo Morris. Our medical staff is is butt cheeks and our coach. He does say that, right? Our medical staff is butt cheeks.
He's American.
Oh, right. Okay. I was wondering, I saw butt cheeks and wondered if I should have carried on reading it there, but look, it's up there for you guys to read anyway.
I don't think butt cheeks are naughty. I
didn't know where it was going. I didn't read the message first. I just put it up, to be fair. This one's from Brandon Chappell. The team you've selected for both matches should still have been capable of much better results. They are generally good enough. Well, I was more talking about just having a full squad of players, to be fair. I've got here we go. DK Wilson. I'm telling you guys, the preseason schedule was really way too much. Said bath time. You're talking about the 41 games since Christmas. It's ridiculous.
We played 8 games in 5 different countries, I think, in our pre-season.
Yeah, they did flog him to death, though. Really, to be fair, didn't they?
Ridiculous.
We've got one from Jay Malmin. I hear Casemiro's. Please, can somebody just confirm or not confirm
our
that?
Fact checkers.
Yes, please. Can somebody? Here we go. Let's have a look at this one from bath time. The head of United's coach has been at the club since the appointment of Moyes. Ten Hag wanted to get Alessandro Schoonemaker from Ajax as a director of the board, but the board refused. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. I
don't think that does. Like, if he's talking about our fitness coach is called Charlie Owen, who was appointed, I think, in the Solskjaer era.
Okay, that's why you're here. David Chappell again. Brandon Chappell. The injuries under ETH are quite ironic, considering FC20 were well known for preventing injuries when McLaren. Yeah, well, obviously, we blaming the medical staff then. Oh God. Where have we got? Yeah, see, not heard anything. Here we go.
I haven't heard anything about Casemiro. But should we move on?
Yes, swiftly. Let's go again.
So, United have a plan, and it is Gary's Anatomy, which is my pun on Grey's Anatomy. So he continued to say, we're also looking to continually strengthen our medical and physio support for players, including the recent appointment of Gary O'Driscoll as head of sports medicine. We headhunted him from Arsenal, yes, where he spent the past 14 years and is widely considered one of the leading practitioners in sports medicine. His appointment was made before the current spate of injuries, but we can have confidence that we've got the best possible team in place to get our players back to fitness, and manage their fitness going forward. Mr. B, is this waffle?
Probably not, but the fact that we headhunted him from Arsenal, I'm delighted with. You know me, you know how I feel about them already. I thought he started at the beginning of the season, but I don't think he did. I don't think he was appointed until the season had already started. So I don't know if there was nobody in place or nobody who gave a shit, or the person who has taken over had left at a certain period of time, or there was no overlap or whatever. But let's hope. I mean, look, his job is going to be hard enough as it is, and blame-wise, I suppose you can't blame him. He's coming early. The situation is going to be if we have these again next year.
Yeah,
he would have been in here for his year. He would have had time to bed in and analyze whatever he needs to analyze. If we've got this problem in a year, I think we've got an issue. But so look, let's hope that we don't get any more this year. I just hope that we get players back by half time.
Well, I think what's quite good, Mr. B, is that there was some other news today that I don't think we're going to be able to cover, but it's about a restructure of our scouting department. And it looks like this year United have restructured the medical department with O'Driscoll supervising it, and we're also changing up our scouting. So I think that things are actually moving in the right direction for the first time in a long time. And I think that Gary O'Driscoll is going to become one of the most important people this season, because we've got to get people fit. Imagine if he cures Varane. Be incredible. Get him fit for the whole season. Wonderful. But what are the comments? Oh, actually, just before you do the comments, we're looking for someone who is a doctor, which is a bit ambitious, or a personal trainer who can tell us a little bit about injury grades and all these sort of things. So if you know anyone or are a PT, please let us know, because we'd love to involve you in the shows.
There you go. Rory C. Obviously he disagrees. That's horseshit. The medical department ain't like players. They should be established for 10 years. Jay Marlin is saying everyone wanted this doctor. He started 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then Rory C has come back. Yep, he did. They let him go on holiday for the whole of pre-season. There you go. And from Zoe, injuries occur when the training regime constantly changes, i.e. if a player is used to running for 10 minutes and suddenly changes to 20, that's an extra strain because of injury. Doesn't mean they're just lazy bastards.
Well, there's I'm not really qualified to speak about it, but there's very different there's many different sort of training sessions that you have. Like what you will do in pre-season is very different to what you'll do during the week. And this is why this is kind of why we'd like to get a sort of expert on to actually tell us about these things. But the next slide, which I've forgotten, is NFTs, and I really like this one, Mr. B.
Well, what I will say to this before we even get started is I have no idea what they are, so this is complete. It's over to you, bath time.
All right. So NFTs are not just pictures of monkeys in on Web 3.0 on the internet. They're much more complex than that. They've just been overtaken by a bunch of idiots with pictures of monkeys. But here, United are referring to them as digital collectibles, and they're the next iteration of memorabilia. The tech behind them means they can be tracked online, so people know they're authentic in a way they often don't with physical goods. We believe in the technology, and over time think they will be cherished, just like physical items are today. So what this means is that the way that NFTs are sort of coded, you can the blockchain, Mr. B, is basically like a book that records everything. So if you've got a fiver in your pocket, you've no idea where that fiver's been before. With cryptocurrency, you know exactly where that's been since the beginning of time. You can trace every transaction. So what this is about is that if you were to buy a football shirt, for example, and an NFT was issued as a certificate of authenticity, you'd be able to track that certificate of authenticity across every purchase.
But but you would physically own the shirt, right?
Well, yeah, it depends on it depends on what's being offered. But you
Sorry,
see,
sorry, sorry. So you're saying what's being offered. So you can buy something that you don't physically own.
yes.
People are fucking mad. Okay, okay,
Well, I mean, if you buy something off iTunes, you don't own the song. It's just licensed to you.
okay. Well, look, we got one from Andy Long. No way I'm swapping my team side 94-95 ball for a digital image.
Okay, that is not. I agree. I agree. Like this is not what they're trying to do, right? What they're doing is, if you look at the last one, we've launched Collect United 23-24, which offers a free collectible for each home game. United are not trying to flog you monkey pictures like the Bored Apes collection or anything like that. What they're doing is that if you go to a game, you'll get something like a digital program for free to show that you were at the game that you can have. And they're also referring to fan tokens, which I don't know if any of you know what fan tokens are, but they're sort of like issued at PSG, Juventus, and in order to vote on certain things, you need the fan tokens. Like, they entitle you to a vote on something that isn't that important. And United are not going down this route. They're doing something which I think is actually really good, which is they're adding value for match-going fans. Where if you go to a match like Vincent or Stuart Marshall or anyone here, they give you an NFT to show that you were at the game. So it's like a Panini sticker book where you can just pop in a digital sticker for every game that you were at. And I think that that's really cool, and it's non-exploitative. They're not trying to sell you things that you don't own. They're trying to give you added value.
Oh, so they're not making money?
Not really. Well, they will try it eventually, but at the moment they're not. No.
Okay, okay. I
Right.
hope that's it. I hope that's explained to you guys in the chat who didn't know what NFTs were. And if you did, fair play to you. We go again, bath time. What is next?
Have we got? Is there anything like any abuse about NFTs here?
No, there wasn't. No. As a gift, here we go. Just one from Andy Long. As a gift, fine, but no way I'm buying one. There you go.
That's your choice. There's actually a football club called Crawley Town, which I'm sure everyone knows. They got taken over by a bunch of cowboys who tried to make they like, if you bought the football shirt, it had to be as an NFT and stuff like that. And that is exactly what we don't want to be going down. If you want to see a really poorly managed football club, worse than Manchester United, look up Crawley Town. Disgraceful. Now, this is a long one, right? And this has some quite serious repercussions. But as you all know, in particular, the South Stand was overrun by Galatasaray fans. They ripped banners down. It was a disaster what happened. And Arnold and Murtagh have tried to explain what happened and what the repercussions are. So they start off by saying, as with all European games, we refuse sales to fans based in Turkey for both general admission and hospitality. This attracted a lot of complaints from those who claimed to be genuine Manchester United fans. When a team has high demand for their fans and a match is categorised as high risk, we have previously been asked to enhance the sales arrangements by restricting sales to those who were not members at a set date during the pre-season. This was not requested for this game, as Galatasaray confirmed they didn't have high demand and only took 2.2 thousand tickets from the 4,000 available, so just over half. So what we've got here, Mr. B, is that if we're playing someone dodgy, or where there could be violence or a danger to supporters, you're not allowed a ticket unless you'd bought a membership in the pre-season.
Okay.
Where you couldn't have known that they were going to play each other.
Right.
Okay. And furthermore, Galatasaray didn't take up their full allocation of tickets, so no one had any clue what was going to happen. They follow this up by talking about bots. Do you know what a bot is, Mr. B?
Yeah, I know that much.
Okay. So, following detailed analysis, I can confirm that over 90% of these tickets were purchased by long-standing UK-based members, most of which were aged under 16, with multiple games in their ticket history. What transpired on the night was Galatasaray adult fans using the tickets. Therefore, not matching the theory on social media regarding sales to new members, our immediate suspicion after the game was that these tickets were allocated by a bot. Myself and our security team held a pre-arranged meeting with our ticketing system provider last Wednesday to discuss several points, including the potential involvement of bots in purchasing tickets for this game, with the tickets subsequently being resold on the black market. Therefore, please expect increased bot detection measures when visiting the site, like captures and, is this a traffic light and all that sort of stuff. Right. Mr. B, you have a glazed look on your face.
Yeah, I tell you what, mate. That went straight over my head. I'll be honest. And I think it went straight over everybody else's in the comments because nobody's commented about the bots. So, again, we can move on.
I don't know. This is actually really serious, what they're saying here. Like, this is they're going at the fans a little bit. So what they're saying is that for the game, 90% of the tickets were purchased by people that were members and have been members for a long time.
Yeah, but do they have to buy the tickets so that they entitled to the next away game? Is that how it works? If you don't,
yeah, you get points for
so maybe
European games.
So maybe they did it to get the points. What I don't understand is they were talking about it being like kids' tickets being sold, and then there's a whole load of like thugs. But I suppose the children's tickets are cheaper, probably face value wise than an adult ticket in the away end. So there must be something that they can do. So
what are the fans doing, Mr. B?
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
What Arnold is saying is that people that essentially Manchester United fans are are members under false identity, saying that they're under 16. They're buying tickets that are cheaper and then reselling them. That is essentially what this is about, and that they're using bots to do this in order to sort of be first, I would imagine, in the queue and stuff. So it's a pretty wild accusation to be making. And then and then there's long-term effects. And these are what they're going to be trying to do. So all sales for all cup matches will be restricted to those who exist on our ticketing system prior to the draw, and only relaxed when we're advised infiltration is no longer a risk. As advised in our recent communications, we've already confirmed this for Copenhagen, Newcastle, Bayern Munich. I'm aware of posts on social media regarding people creating accounts in fake names and proceeding to be able to select tickets. As discussed in this forum previously, we're keen to validate all ticket holders are who they say they are. And despite previous concerns around asking people for ID, I strongly recommend we implement this as soon as possible. Does this remind you of Margaret Thatcher in the 80s at all, Mr. B?
The 80s, I have no idea what happened in the 80s last time. I have absolutely no idea what happened in it. But there's a lot of bullshitism going on at the moment, is what it sounds like.
Right, what's this saying to you?
There's shit going on. We got touts. They want to make their money. They want to make their money. Look. At the end of the day, bath time. They can't control what people do. I know they're going to try to. They're going to try to stop it, and they're going to try to, implement these various other bots, as somebody said. I think Zoe on here was saying about they're going to replace. Soon AI is going to take over from the bots. Anyway, I I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they can sort it out, but let's hope that those disgusting scenes are never seen at our club again. To be fair.
Well, what they're trying to do here, Mister B, is that they're trying to make you have ID on you when you go to the ground, and it's something they've been trying for quite a long time. I can see Vincent's in the house, and Vincent is a match-going fan, so maybe he can tell us a little bit more.
So right. I'm scared to start reading Vincent's comments. What shit about the membership with the Champions League? You can buy all the home games, away games, but if you get to the semi-final, you can buy a ticket. You get to the final, you can't buy one. Okay. And then he's got another one here. Season ticket owners only for the final, which is absolutely stupid. Sully members, fucking hell. If Sully member tickets caused to be wasted at the time, and their hopes it's going to be at the final. Guys, make of that what you will. I know he's on what's that? You speak into it. I'm not sure it understands his accent, to be fair. Good evening, FC United forever. Long time no see. Sorry, bath time.
Yeah, Vincent is saying that it doesn't matter how many games that you go to. If you're not a season ticket holder, you won't be able to go to a European final or a cup final due to the way it's done. And United are basically. My fear is that after what we saw at Galatasaray, United are going to try and impose draconian measures on our own fans and do it under the guise of trying to stop basically of them. They don't want the touts getting the money. United want the money from resales and things. I don't like it. We shouldn't be treating our fans like this. And here, they move on to touts now, and this is what they plan to do: is digital ticketing, where they're going to send tickets. It's going to be like when you go to the airport. They don't want you having paper tickets. They want it on your phone, so they know who you are and they can track you. But I'll read it out anyway. A primary focus over the next few months will be to trial much more robust digital ticketing. Instead of tickets being delivered by email, we're working with our ticketing system provider to deliver those directly into the club app. This will be a much more seamless experience for fans, with tickets being uploaded directly as opposed to receiving an email and downloading. My initial thought on this, Mr. B, is that they are trying to push up downloads of the club app for all the nonsense that. Yeah.
As soon as you said it, I thought, oh my god, here we go. It's a club app, and then they'll probably start charging you a small monthly subscription for the club app. So yeah, look, it sounds like it sounds like a money making scheme to me.
It's more for sponsors. I think it's more for sponsors, where they talk about digital impressions and all this sort of stuff. It's a way of trying to increase shirt deals and sponsorship deals. And then they say the new digital ticketing technology would also prevent fans from screenshotting tickets, which should reduce the volume of tickets being advertised online. So they want control of the ticketing, and which is fair enough, to be honest. But please note, specifically following the instance at last week's game, the unauthorised transfer of tickets to people not validated by the club is as much of an issue as a traditional misinterpretation of ticket touting. So I think that this is twofold here, Mr. B. One is that the club is obviously liable to the people they give tickets to, and if people start setting off flares or breaking the law, and United, we have to take our own police to away games because we're the best away fans in the country. But also, I believe that this is to do with the Glazers out banner. like or burn the Glazers or whatever it is. Like when I was in Spain for the Sociedad game, they were searching for it frantically. Like it's a massive embarrassment to the football club, and they want to know who's where and in what seats because they don't trust us. And it's back to like the 80s, 70s, the 60s where we were not viewed very well. But what's Vincent got to say?
So here we go. I'm going to put it up. I'm so worried to read it, so you guys can read it.
Yeah, like that's fine. What Vincent's put up. Is there anything else?
No, just one here from Zoe Media House. Man United should create a system where fans need a membership to be defined as a fan, charging about 50 quid to prove one is a genuine fan through membership. That should be how tickets are allocated. I have no idea.
Well, that is essentially how it works. And FC United is talking about Colette Roach, and she's completely correct. This is Colette Roach speaking. Right, what's up next? The leaky roof, the real issue. So anyone who doesn't know, South Stand in particular leaks. It leaks more than Dean Henderson. Absolutely. Or I should say the Sir Bobby Charlton Stand now. But we are progressing plans to replace the sheeting on the South Stand roof. This is a complex task due to the length of time required to carry out the works, circa 16 to 24 weeks, if uninterrupted. Clearly, we do not have a break of that duration without matches, so the phasing of such works is complicated to avoid any risk to match day delivery. In addition, there are legal and operational complexities due to the need to involve the use of cranes and the proximity to the railway line. Other roof structures on the remaining stands are subject to ongoing assessment and a maintenance plan. Mr. B comments thoughts on the fact that we have a roof that doesn't work.
It's now becoming iconic that we've got a leaky roof. I mean, it's disgraceful. The fact that they're going to say it's going to take 16 to 24 weeks to fix, I think it means it's never going to get fixed. What he's talking about is saying, of uninterrupted, if uninterrupted, no chance. Yeah. There's a game every 2 weeks or a game every week and a half. Yeah, I think it's an impossible situation. So it's not going to happen. Bath time. I can't see the roof being fixed anytime soon. And surely, with the way that technology works, they can do something up there to stop it from leaking. It's embarrassing.
Well, the technology that's existed since we were cavemen to stop us getting wet.
I mean, look, it's ridiculous. Bath time. It's ridiculous.
It is. I do like the response though from the club here that they acknowledge that there's a problem. And also that railway line, which runs next to the Munich tunnel, is a real issue. Like it's been a problem for years because it makes the expansion almost impossible on that side.
How does it make it impossible? They made a tunnel through water from England to France. I don't understand how they can't work out something over a railway. I'll be honest, I've never understood how you've seen some of the buildings that are made and some of the buildings that are designed. I'm still not sure why it's an issue. I'm not an architect, so there has to be. But I would like somebody to really explain to me why. Because as I said, they can build anything they want at the moment. Look what they're doing they're building that strip in wherever it is, Saudi Arabia or wherever, that goes from God's ass to God's ass.
But why are they doing that though?
They need something to spend their money on, don't they? We've got one from Rory C.
Hey!
Best thing to happen is the health and safety come in and shut it down. Are we that broke? Lasers need to piss off as soon as possible. Rory, thank you for your $5 donation, my friend. A €5 donation. And before I forget, look, I see Solos in the house. Welcome. I think you should be on your way back from work. Safe travels, my friend. Back to you, bath time.
Yeah, I hope Solo's really impressed that I've managed to get up branded graphics for us about a roof that doesn't work. But I think what Rory said about health and safety, about how health and safety should come shut us down, is probably the reason that we can't work on that, because there's a running train line there. Like, there's very little space that can be done. It's really unfortunate, but it probably means that we're going to have to rebuild. We're going to build a new stadium as opposed to rebuild Old Trafford because of that train line. But such is life. Now, the next thing that happened is one of our fan representatives asked about stadium redevelopment. And he said, as there is currently no prospect of a takeover, when and how will the required stadium development be achieved? And the response was, one of the positive reasons for the strategic review process was to explore options for raising funds for investment in areas such as infrastructure. So the strategic review process is like how much money the Glazers can get for the football club. It's a bit that they're talking about the takeover. And they say we appointed master planners to assess options for stadium development, and we involve fans in that process. That work provides a foundation to work from when the strategic review is complete. And what I think here, Mr. B, is that this is just part of the sales brochure to the takeover, saying that this is how much it's going to cost to do this and that. And then in the meantime, we continue to invest significant sums in maintenance and improvements of Old Trafford, including the extensive summer works programme described by Colette earlier, which was to do with upgrading the female facilities at Carrington, but I didn't include it. So, I mean, what do you think to that, Mr. B? Waffle?
100%. 100% waffle. But look, before we go any further, we'll big up Reggie. Guys, if you are still here, guys, look, just make sure you hit that like button. And you know what? Give us a share on the socials if you are on Instagram, if you are on Twitter. Cheers. Rajat, welcome, my friend. Sorry, bath time.
Yeah. And then we've got something else. Oh, this was good. This was good. So, this is a quote from one of the people at the meeting, and it's a really long quote where he had some more sneak disses, but this is the meat of it. He said, Joel Glazer has attended 2 fan forums in the aftermath of Super League fiasco. In his second appearance, God, my voice is gone. In his second appearance in September 2021, Joel Glazer said he was looking forward to participating more in the future. Why hasn't Joel Glazer attended the fans forum since September 2021? Now, I like that question. Where is he? Where is he? Like, you know, he is essentially the sort of the spiritual bearer of our football club. We never see him, and he's never interviewed, and he never says anything. And we got a whole load of waffle back from this question. Right, I'll read it out. But he said, Joel attended and engaged with this group and the fans advisory board until the announcement of the strategic review process. Following the start of that process, there are tight legal and regulatory restrictions on what we can say about the strategic review. In these circumstances, it would not be appropriate or productive for the owners to participate in these meetings when they're not able to talk about the main issue that fan representatives would naturally wish to question them on. Instead, through Richard and the club's executive leadership team, the owners are kept fully informed of the constructive debate and input that is provided during the fans forum and fans advisory board. Everyone involved in the strategic review process continues to stress the importance of engagement with fans, especially through this body of work and the fans advisory board. I mean, you go, Mr. B. I don't want to swear with Solo watching.
It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And this is the part. That's why I'm glad that's why I'm glad it's labelled waffle. Yeah. Because that's exactly what it is. You could have used a couple of other words for it. it's look, it is what it is. They're talking their nonsense, and you just have to leave them to get on with it on bath time.
No, I hate this. I absolutely hate this bit here where he says they're not able to talk about the main issue that fan representatives would naturally wish to question them on. Right, in chat, if you had 2 minutes with Joel Glazer, what are you asking him? Because I don't think I'm asking him about the takeover. I think I've got several questions to ask him, and it's nothing to do with, what Sir Jim Radcliffe is up to. Like, this is cowardice from the Glazers. Like, you've got to be open. You've got to, like, if you're doing this to the club willingly, you've got to take the heat. It's absolutely ridiculous that like people like Richard Arnold are. Whatever you think about him, he's constantly hung out to dry by the Glazers. They should be here answering these questions because ultimately the buck stops with them on stuff about stadium redevelopments. It's absolute disgrace for them to say this. They're a bunch of gobshites. Right, we must have some comments about the Glazers, and I could do with a laugh.
Well, we've got here one from Mo Morris, the Glazers own Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they just say the American football team. This one here, Reggie saying he'd probably ask him for a job at Manchester United. The Garies and Morris again, they're scared. They don't want to face the fans. Americans should not run football clubs.
Just to clarify, Mo is American.
Right, there you go. Zoe, if Qatar buys Man United, they have to build the largest capacity stadium in the world. And welcome Bilal as well.
Shout out to Bilal. All right. So, what's next? More control of fans is what's next. A question was asked, which if the TRA, which is the Red Army, keep cancelling the section in protest, then can't the club run it? Me and my group of 4 still want to go in and get behind the team. So the Red Army is basically the singing section of Manchester United. Like they're responsible for sort of like generating the atmosphere. And the response was, "We hope this doesn't occur and would like to continue the partnership we have had with TRA. We have discussed options internally regarding use of this area should the Red Army not operate a section, as we are aware many fans have asked about this. Whilst our ambition has always been to have this fan-led, we do have the data of all attendees in recent sections and could operate an atmosphere section if the Red Army choose not to do so for future matches." It's 1984. It's George Orwell. What does this say to you here, Mr. B?
They'll take control back. They'll take control back. Keep singing on. You ain't gonna have a singing section, and we'll work out who's singing by CCTV.
Yes. We know who you are. If we hear Glazer out chants again, none of you are coming in. That is what this says to me. And at some stage, I'd love to get Stuart and Andy on to talk about the Red Army and Must and things like that for all our foreign viewers. But yeah, and then just to sort of finish off, I found these questions very funny. The first one is the club advertises the Old Trafford tram stop as being the nearest tram stop to the ground, where in fact it's the Wharfside tram stop that is the nearest. Wharfside tram stop is 420 metres to the megastore. Old Trafford tram stop is 947 metres, literally twice the distance. What are these people doing, Mr. B? They're meant to be representing us, and they're talking about the nearest tram stop to the ground. I agree it's important, detail's important, but you got a question to ask at a fan forum meeting, and you're talking about mislabeled... Yeah, and then I quite like this one. Could United look into keeping a bar open after full time? that's the one he wants. And then this one is good. This one is good. The new away kit is horrid. It makes you feel like you're watching Newcastle, not Manchester United. What a disappointment. Why did you make this ugly kit? Like, I rate that, to be perfectly honest. Like, why? I hate that kit as well.
It's disgusting. But the funny thing is now, fans look at it and don't see Newcastle with their kit, and fans don't see Newcastle. They see their ugly Man United away kit. It's just the power of Man United. We've taken away the shirt that they've had for how much years, one season, and we've ruined it.
Yeah, I really like the third kit, the white one.
That's grown on me now. To be fair, that one has grown on me.
But the thing is it doesn't matter what the kit is, like the away kit. If you win important matches in any kit, it becomes a really good kit. Like, I didn't like the zebra one. I thought we looked like a bunch of weird snow leopards when it came out. You remember But we got some really good results in that kit, and now I absolutely love it. But
yeah, because the opposition were too busy laughing at us.
Well, yeah,
camouflage. Maybe it was camouflage.
Yeah, the most famous kit ever is probably that one we binned off at half-time at Southampton, isn't it? I'm surprised they don't bring that back with the performances.
Oh, God.
But this is all the stuff that I took from the fan forum meeting. There is a lot of stuff about women's football in there, which sadly we don't cover at the moment. But I'm sure if anyone is really interested in that, there's an opportunity for us to collaborate and maybe produce a show about what's going on in the women's teams. There was also talk of expanding access for people to watch like development games, so like the under-18s, the under 23s, etc. on MUTV. And someone also asked what the hell Jamie Redknapp and Mika Richards were doing on the pitch, and the response was that the club made it clear that whoever lost that stupid penalty shootout had to wear a Manchester United shirt, and that's why it was allowed, and they recognise it was a mistake.
Good.
And yeah, and so that was my rundown of the fan forum meeting. Does anyone in chat have any questions? And Mr. B, what did you think of all the stuff that was said to us, the fans?
Right, so Zoe's Media House, the ugly away kit reminds me of the grey kit days that Alex Ferguson ordered to change. Yep. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the grey kit? Yes. And Reggie saying they should just have a home and away kit and then a kit for cup competition. I remember when they used to change the kit every 2 years. You know, now it's you get 3 kit, you get 6 kits in that period. To be fair,
how much do they cost now? Like, I haven't bought a football kit that I don't play in for like
they
15
must be
years.
What is it, 60 quid maybe? Must be.
I think it's about 140. Like,
for what? What, for socks and shorts?
Yeah,
and
socks the whole thing.
Oh, be a full kit wanker. No, then that's all right. You just buy the shirt, wear it over your jeans and say, look, who knows?
Yeah, someone in chat, tell us how much the official kit costs, because 80
Mega
quid.
Store 80 quid. Jesus. Okay, fair enough.
And every match you see it absolutely around the Mega Store.
They make us stack, don't they?
Yeah.
Boy. Look, I'll be honest. I wasn't sure what the fan forum entailed. They seem to have fudged their way through a few questions. I think they seem to have fudged their way through a lot of the questions. To be fair, the injury one is the one I'm most worried about. That's the one that I want to improve, and that's gonna be done over time. The Galatasaray one, again, waffle.
Yeah.
Waffle. NFTs I didn't understand. I'm glad you have explained it to me. And yeah, that was it out of those, to be fair. What was the one that struck you the most, Bath Time, before we disappeared for 48 hours?
I liked the NFTs, but I think that they will become exploitative in the long run. But the one that struck me is how I feel the club are using what happened at Galatasaray, which happened under their watch, to try and control ticketing, like even more. Try and get all our details of people who go to the games, and whether they use that for punitive measures against anti-Glazer demonstrations, or that they're just flogging our data to their business partners. I don't like it, and I think that they should respect match-going fans far more than they do.
Fair enough. So, well, Zoe's saying, Zoe's ending is ending. Since Adidas became sponsors, our kits have been awful.
Is
Reggie's
this
asking, go on, yeah.
sorry? Is this Tate? I think that's
Oh
Andy.
yeah, it
Hi,
is.
Andy.
Cheap kits, 15 quid. There you go.
There you go.
See?
Talk to Andy for all your fashion needs.
Oh god, look, we're a joke, man, and we're on the hour mark as well, bath time.
Yes, sir. I'm hosting, aren't I?
Oh yes, you are.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I know that was a massive information dump, but those were the minutes of the fan meeting. We don't have a show tomorrow or probably on Sunday. We will be having a Harry Maguire debate with Dora and Amonde next week. We'll be talking to.
What day? What day?
I don't know. It depends on Dora.
Okay, no problem.
We'll be talking to a football coach on Wednesday, so you can get your questions in if you've ever wondered about management. I'm sure that Andy will be on next week as well, and I would like to do something about must tickets, like what's going on with season tickets, to give you all a better insight into what it's like to go to Old Trafford. And we'll probably do some quizzes, Mr. V.
That's fine. That's fine by me. Anything to fill the week, guys. Just remember to hit that notification bell, yeah?
Yeah. And like and subscribe and all of that. And I hope that all of you enjoy your weekend tremendously. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.